Announced only a few months ago, Tembo the Badass Elephant is a pleasant collaboration between Game Freak and Sega. Though it's strange seeing the Game Freak logo on the big screen, it's nice to see them working on something other than another Pokemon game, especially something that is so radically different. The game's story is told through colorfully animated comic book panels. While the narrative is short and simple, it's good enough to get the job done, and I found the humorous panels to be quite enjoyable. Tembo is clearly a persona of John Rambo, not just in his design, but also in the way his backstory is reflected in the opening cutscene. You come to learn that the evil army known as Phantom is attacking Shell City, and Tembo was called back into action by his old commander to trample the forces of evil. Controlling Tembo is a rush, literally. You'll be stampeding through walls, crates, soldiers, and vehicles while butt-stomping through buildings, which has never been so much fun. Much like Sonic, momentum is important. You're encouraged to keep your speed at a steady pace, without interruption, but if you're not paying attention, you may find yourself running blindly into enemy fire, or destroying a platform to reach a hidden area. Slamming through as many objects as possible without stopping builds up a combo, which rewards you with peanuts, which are also scattered throughout each stage. Collecting enough peanuts earns you a jar of peanut butter, which acts like an extra life if Tembo falls in the line of duty. Besides charging, Tembo has a few other moves up his trunk. He can also sidekick through narrow passages, uppercut airborne enemies like helicopters, roll into a ball like Sonic, and spray water from his trunk to douse fires and stun enemies. All of Tembo's abilities are usable up front. Instead of unlocking abilities, stages introduce new objects in the environment, like bowling balls and plant-based platforms that you will need to interact with in order to beat the stage. Every stage has a set number of hostages, which are usually hidden around the map. When a hostage is rescued, they hop on Tembo's back. It's fun seeing a group of them raise their hands in the air as Tembo reaches full speed, as if they are on a roller coaster. If you are trying to 100% the game, not only will you need to rescue every hostage, but you will need to kill every enemy in the stage, which can get tricky when you find out how well some of them are hidden, and realize how much work it is to squash every enemy that is ejected from a destroyed vehicle. While playing Tembo, I couldn't help but realize how much the game borrows from Donkey Kong. Tembo's movement and controls feel similar to riding Rambi in Donkey Kong Country, and even the way you collect peanuts as you blast around the stage in cannons feels eerily similar to the way you collect bananas and use blast barrels in Donkey Kong, not to mention the bonus rooms. While the game ramps up in challenge pretty quickly, it's the good kind of challenge that is greatly appreciated. I went through my fair share of peanut butter while playing, but none of my deaths ever felt cheap. If I died, it was my doing. While I experienced a few odd bugs while playing, like one of the bosses getting stuck in the ceiling, and the screen going completely white after entering a room, it wasn't the worst I've seen all year. It wasn't enough to dampen my experience too much, but it was still a bummer, especially since it costs you a life to restart a level. Hopefully these bugs get patched out with a future update. With only 18 stages, the game can be beaten in a few hours, but seems like a fair value at its $15 price point. While its challenging gameplay may not be for everyone, speedrunners and old school gamers will love it. Hopefully it's not the end for our little stampeding war hero, as I would love for Game Freak and Sega to return to this franchise someday.